Hello, Francis.
Hello, Frederick, and to all the students.
Yeah. And now we are starting our second Q&A session for the course in Applied IoT on Linnaeus University. So welcome all of you. And well, hello, Francis. Where are you?
I'm right now in Kalmar, and I'm very happy that we have almost prepared ourselves for an exciting journey with hundreds of students on this IoT course.
Yeah, it's been much more interest than we anticipated. So that's a great thing, but we're a bit astonished by the really large interest in IoT, which is super fun. But well, more students than we ever anticipated. I suppose that's a good thing.
Yes, of course.
So yeah, and what are we going to talk about today? Well, I have prepared some notes, Francis. I'll share my screen. And I'm just going to show, I put up a document at Hack.md tagged Q&A, and you'll find it in the links. I'll provide them both in the Slack channel and on the course homepage, the GitHub, and you'll find it. The first Q&A session was actually almost a month ago. I recorded that very early after the welcome video. And I did that in Swedish, and just want to give a super short recap of that the orders were already at that time beginning to roll in. I talked a little about recommended hardware, which sensors do I need to buy, do I need a 3D printer? If you still wonder that, please look at that YouTube video and you'll get an answer. I talked a little bit about the schedule and the lectures, the course start and the course length, and also about the Slack channel and MicroPython topic, and also please use English as the language for questions. You don't have to use English. It's a Swedish course. I'm just saying it that the course is in Swedish, and it might feel awkward that we are using English, but that's how it works in the academia, that a lot of people are, well, not speaking Swedish as their native language. Or what do you say, Francis?
Yeah, I mean, students have the freedom to choose whatever language they use. For example, as instructors, I speak English with some very basic knowledge on Swedish. My colleague Frederick, you are native Swedish, so you also speak English and maybe other languages. So in terms of language, students are welcome and encouraged to use any language they prefer.
Yeah. And when you say any language you prefer, I would say any language, as long as you choose Swedish or English. At least I would prefer not to use any other language. And yes, so we're going to keep the general formal course information. For instance, the course introduction, that will be in Swedish. I'll try to keep much information in Swedish. The live workshops, when I want you to participate, that will be mainly in Swedish. So it shouldn't not be a barrier for anyone. Just talk Swedish, use Swedish all the way. The only barrier is that you need to understand English, but if that's all, it's okay. You don't have to use English as long as you can understand it. Okay, let's go on to today's agenda. And just the first point, the course starts on Monday. Yeah.
And that is June 8th?
June 8th, yeah. So, well, on Monday. There is no Monday. Yeah. And could say that the course is it's a 5-week course. It's 7.5 credits, so it's 5 weeks full time. We have planned it, so we have lectures and recordings, and well, the schedule is spanning over 4 weeks. So the last week will be like a week when you can still be working on your project, obviously get some input and help and be active, but there won't be any planned sessions during the last week. Also, if you want, you can finish the course in 4 weeks. So if you hand in your report at the end of the 4th week, yeah, that's okay as well. So you can compress it. It's totally okay. And that's actually the thought behind that, Francis. That because we had a campus course which started just 4 weeks into this course.
Yes.
So that was the main reason. When then because of Corona, the campus course was cancelled, and well, we still had that 4 week in our minds, and we kept it. So that's
Yes.
that's like the main reasoning, that the background for that. But we'll keep it. So it's a 5-week course. You can do it in 4 weeks. It's a little bit up to you. Yeah, and well, what the next agenda point?
Yes, one of the crucial part for this distance course is our live workshops, and we have 3 highly talented teaching assistants who will be working with you and answering your questions, anything from software, hardware, or even some basic knowledge on IoT and so on.
And we could mention that the main idea with this course was, the original idea is to have an applied course. And we did a lot of discussion and thinking when we thought about, okay, how do we make a distance course applied? And as I see it, one of the core parts of this course to make it an applied course is obviously that you all have bought some kind of hardware that makes it applied, but you need to do something. You need to be active, and the live workshops is the applied part. That's why we call an active participation as a very crucial part in this course. So as I see it, the live workshops are, well, a core part of this course. And we have 3 teaching assistants which are going to keep these rolling. They're a couple of hours long each. You don't have to attend all of them, but if you want a higher grade, you need to attend and present during these workshops. But I'll get into those details later on in the course introduction. So, and with the next point, the high-level explanation of quizzes and tutorial. You have made some quizzes, Francis, haven't you?
Yes. So for the students, it will be an interesting platform to learn even more through some fun quizzes. So the objective of these quizzes are not to assess individuals or what they have learned or how much they have learned, but even to inform on more on the concepts or of the IoT domain that they will be dealing with this 5-week time. So we will provide all the details on the quizzes in the coming weeks, but of course there will be some minimum evaluation in terms of credits. Whoever is participating in the quiz, regardless of the score, they will achieve some minimum number of credits from these quizzes.
Yeah, and as we see the quizzes, it's more of a thing that we need to keep you as students active in the material, and quizzes is like a good way of checking in that you're doing something active. The quizzes will be, you will be able to redo them, and if you don't get all the answers right, you can just do it again and do it again. So I wouldn't say it won't be hard, but it will take a little bit of time, and hopefully it will give you something back. The main course result will be the tutorial, the project work. That's where you are going to put the most effort. And the tutorial itself is, I've already recorded a video about that, and I will talk much more about that in the next week. But I'm super excited about this one. I must say, this will be so fun. It's so much fun. Yeah. Okay, I've written down just bullet point Slack. And what did I want to say with that? Yeah, with start on this Monday, we need to have a little bit of more communication strategy order in the Slack channel. I've already written down some rules in the study guide. I will cover them on Monday, and it will be in Swedish, and I will do it thoroughly, very easy. But this needs to be taken care of. We need to at least know how we are going to use the Slack tool, where we're going to ask questions, and how we're going to ask questions, and how we're going to answer questions. So we all agree on that part. I'll go into the details later on. If you wonder what I'm talking about, please read up on the study guide right away, and you'll see some examples.
Yes, and just to add a little small note on top of it, we have 2 Slack channels. Hopefully you will get the name already if you're not part of the Slack groups. But one channel is for the general discussion, and another is for the live workshops. So all the live workshops and their related questions will be on that channel that is dedicated to the live workshop.
Yeah, okay, I feel stupid. I don't remember exactly which names. I'll add that just later on. But we have, and we started also topic MicroPython just for like general questions. There are more students even not involved in this particular course, which might be interested in joining in for discussions in MicroPython or Python. So, and just as you know, the Slack channel is a part of the computer science department at Linnaeus University. So you're free to use the Slack you're invited to for discussions in the general forum, or if you have questions about JavaScript or any other programming language, or if you want to come in contact with other teachers at the computer science institution, just feel free. It's a really good communication tool, and you're actually in the heart of the communication of the computer science department at Linnaeus University. We use it all the time for all our communication. So it's really great. Okay, Electrokit. We can give you some background about how this started, but when we made this a distance course, we had we were like thinking, how do we do this in a good orderly manner if we have so many students applying? So we didn't know exactly, but we contacted Electrokit and others as well. But we ended up, Electrokit ended up being very interested in helping us out. So they could like make a store product with what like a basic kit and what we needed, and take care of all that. So I think we have gotten a really good support from Electrokit, and I'm happy that they are also involved in the Slack group, Jim. So shout out to you, Jim, and thank you for that. I know you're not doing it for, of course, you're making a profit of it, but anyway, it can't be very much, and for us, it's worth having like a provider of material, because the last thing that me and Francis and our teaching assistants want to do is to be a support of hardware that doesn't work, because we can't help you with that. I mean, you need to have a manufacturer that, or a storefront that does that. So so thanks for that. And oh yeah, and it seems, I think they took 200 orders, and then they capped it at 200 orders. I think it was that they ordered in batches of hundreds or something like that. I think they have at least sold 200. And I know from discussions in the Slack group that many have ordered from Pycom directly. So I don't have an absolute number, but 200 plus orders, which is great. Yeah. And there have dropped in a couple of questions in the Slack channel that, oh, I haven't seen the mails of since now, and I think you might be able to get hold of a Pycom device still, but you have to order from Pycom. Don't forget there is a discount code. You can find it in the Slack channel. Linnaeus Uni 20, I think it is. So use that and read up on what other students have experienced during, well, I think DHL was the fastest or something like that. Yeah. If you get your material in late next week, you'll pick up, don't worry. And I mean, we'll sort it out. So just make sure that you get the material, and we'll sort it out. Yes, do you have anything more to add to that?
That I was going to add that you already mentioned. So the best possible approach could be get your hardwares by next week, because if you are too late to get your hardwares, you will be behind the schedule, and you will not able to finish it or finish the course by 5 weeks time frame. So
yeah,
it's the maximum limit that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is a vacation starting just after these 5 weeks, and I suppose that at least I am planning a road trip in British Columbia, so I would rather not spending the time well, looking over assignments during that time. So yeah, 5 weeks is a good time to finish in. So. And registration, some questions about that. Do that ASAP. Do you have questions? And there is a link about, well, welcome to Linnaeus University as a new student link, some kind of link, like follow that route and you'll get all questions answered just by reading up that. I don't have anything to add to that because they have written a very clear guide. So I'll just leave it to those that know these things. And if you have questions regarding Ladok, I can't see the course. How do I do when I register? Well, I can say right away, I'm not the right person to answer. It was a long time since I was a student, and it changes all the time. We have people working with these specific things in the university. So contact the student admissions office. And the easiest thing you can do is just write what you want to know to info@lnu.se, and they will guide you the right way. You can also call. You call the number at Linnaeus University homepage and just tell them what you want to help with, and they'll guide you. So all these like general Ladok questions, and don't bother asking me and Francis. You're very, if you want to ask us, it's okay, but we probably won't be able to help you. I'm just saying it right away.
Yes, also for Ladok, since we are talking about Ladok, registration on Ladok is also really important. It's also due to the fact that without the registration on Ladok, you physically don't exist in this course. So even if you submit your project or do your project and submit your report, we can evaluate you, but you will not be officially granted the credits.
No, No, it's important that you do that because you need to be registered in Ladok. And I don't think you will get access to the learning platform, at least not automatically if you're not registered in Ladok. But that's also one thing I'm not really sure about. So I should probably not say anything about it. But super important, register in Ladok, you won't get your credits. It's that simple if you don't. Okay, and then the planning. There is a planning document. I've been updating that since the last couple of weeks. I would still say it's a draft, but it's a very much finished draft at this moment. There is also Google Calendar link. I updated that just yesterday. That Google Calendar link, you should be able to just subscribe to that Google Calendar and you'll get all the planning into your preferred calendar. And I'll try to keep that updated, of course. So you get all the Zoom links and everything in one document. That's the idea. But regarding the planning, you'll get an overview, but I would say always show up on Slack. Before something happens live, you will always have the most recent information on the Slack channel. We'll always announce that on Slack. So if you just know that something is happening at 6 o'clock, just go into Slack at least 15 minutes earlier and you'll get all the latest information with Zoom links and whatever. So that's like the most important thing as I see it. Know the time slots and then keep an active profile on Slack. Yes, do you want to add something about the planning, Francis?
No, I think what you mentioned is absolutely right. We will mostly follow the Slack. So we provide all the critical information on Slack as well as all our detailed agenda on our Google Calendar. So this tool will be our driving tool for the course.
Yeah. And then lectures, we'll try to record as much as possible, not the workshops. And even though it would be possible to record them, we won't record them because we want you to be active. And it makes things a lot easier if we just keep it like not recorded. So we'll not record those ones. And there might be some sections of lectures and especially live recordings which are not recorded. So you'll get an added value if you go to the live sessions for sure. You will be able to ask questions and you will also be able to see the full version. The recorded version might be a little bit chopped off. I'm just saying. And we have, for instance, we have one guest lecturer, and Bettina from Pycom, and she's going to make like a formal recording, and then we're going to end that recording, and then it will be a more open discussion, and she will be, as she said, a bit more like politically incorrect. So I would recommend anyway, at least for the live lectures, the guest lectures, these will be more valuable seeing live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, one of the goals for making the lectures recorded as much as possible is that so that during these 5 weeks or during this course, we can get engaged with the students more than just giving lectures live and using our time in the lectures instead of having questions and solving your problems.
Yeah. And also it's an applied course, which I already mentioned. It's much up to you. It's always up to you as a student if you want to learn something. I mean, that's nothing new. But I'm just saying that if you want to just take the very easy route in this course, you might come off. I would say you can probably come off a bit easier. You can make like a very standard project and do the quizzes, and well, even we won't really go into very much detail on exactly how active you were and not, and you'll get a grade. So that's a very cynical way of saying it, but as I see it, it's much up to you. What I personally would like is that, well, if that no one cares about their grade, but they put all effort in and having fun. That's like what I really want for this course. See this as an opportunity to actually do something which is super fun and get credit for it. I mean, that's the perfect scenario. And so please put in your motivation and skill into the course. And don't try to like do it easy, even if you, well, obviously can. Well, maybe a cynical way of seeing it, but yeah. And the collaboration part. You'll do all the tutorials. I see that the main, you should do everything. You should do your own tutorial. You should do quizzes. You have to do yourself. You can't do them in group. You can work in groups for the tutorial part as well, but I rather see that you do one tutorial by yourself. We can have discussion about group settings later on, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't collaborate. You should collaborate as much as remotely possible. And what I mean with that is that I want you all to be very active in the Slack forum. Share as much information as you can. Don't try to hide anything. Try to help each other. That will be especially important for those of you that want a higher grade. We'll look into those factors. If you're like on the verge, if you want to, like, okay, do we want to give like a high grade for you and you and you? If you have shown to be very active, which is very easy for us to measure, we can just search on your name on the Slack channel and count the amount of messages or like get an image. So please be as helpful as you possibly can and help others. So if we can get this course going with the main goal of like not even having a teacher and it would be fine anyway, then that will be like the absolute dream scenario. Not that I want that to happen, but I'm just saying that if you could help each other to achieve that goal, that would be perfect. Yes, and well, course introduction, Monday at 6 o'clock. I think that's the most important part at this moment. This was a bit longer than I thought, Francis. I'm talking too much.
No, fine. So Monday might be repetition of some of the information that we provided today.
Yeah, it will. It will be a repeat of a lot of things. I would say almost everything we said here will be repeated in some way, but more would say in detail. On Monday, I'll go through the study guide from A to B. We'll talk about the planning more in detail and all those things. And I'll be doing the course introduction in Swedish. I'll do it live and I'll record it. And if you have any questions from this Q&A session, please raise them in the Slack channel. And if you like think that, okay, this doesn't work for me, I don't understand the schedule or whatever, well, we still have a couple of days for changes. So then everything might be perfect at the course introduction. So, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And how's the weather in Kalmar?
2019.
Oh,
yes.
That's nice. Well, the day has just started here, but it seems to be rainy as usual. We have had like a week of rain now, and like 13, 14 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been better. Yeah. Okay, but let's not talk about the weather. I look forward to, well, seeing you all next week. And me and Francis will be having these Q&A sessions every Friday afternoon during the course. So everything that comes up during the course we'll address every week.
Yeah, and welcome on board again.
Yeah. Okay, see you soon, and goodbye.
Yeah, see you soon.
How do I stop the recording? Okay, there.